Equality, diversity and inclusion in the workplace. When we think about the topic of equality, diversity and inclusion, we sometimes think of the Equality Act 2010, but this is only the tip of the iceberg. The 9 protected characteristics are very important in identifying what is protected by law, but what about our behaviours at work? So let's take a closer look at this topic. Equality means each individual or group of people is given the same resources or opportunities. In the UK, the Equality Act 2010 safeguards those with protected characteristics from discrimination in the workplace. Equity, on the other hand, recognises that each person has different circumstances and allocates the exact resources and opportunities needed to reach an equal outcome. An equity approach emphasises that everyone should not be treated the same, but according to their own needs. Diversity is to respect and enjoy a wide range of cultural and individual differences, thereby including everyone. Diversity goes beyond recognising that we are different in measurable ways. Diversity is inclusion. And inclusion at work reflects an environment where all individuals are treated fairly and with respect, regardless of their background, identity or circumstance, having equal access to opportunities and resources which allow them to contribute to the organisation's success. The idea behind the iceberg model is that culture is pictured as an iceberg. Only a very small proportion of the iceberg is visible above the waterline. The tip of the iceberg is in fact supported by a much larger, although invisible part underneath the water. This part of the iceberg is its foundation. Above the waterline, examples of visible parts include food, style of dress, music and language, but the powerful dimensions of culture are the more difficult to spot. The social norms, the values, the basic assumptions about space and time, and the concept of justice and of self. The iceberg model of culture implies that the visible parts of culture are just expressions of the invisible parts. It highlights the difficulty of understanding people from different cultural backgrounds, because although we see what's above the waterline, we cannot immediately realise what the foundations are. Unconscious bias is implicit preference. It refers to a bias which we're unaware of and which happens outside of our control. It is a bias that happens automatically and is triggered by our brain making a quick judgment and assessment of people and situations. It is influenced by our socialization, background, cultural environment, and personal experiences. It may be responsible for negative assumptions and unwitting discrimination against people who may be considered different and do not share the same values, background, and culture as ours. When we embrace organisational equality, diversity and inclusion, there are huge benefits for all of us. Increased productivity, a rise in creativity, more innovation, fast problem solving, and better decision making. So we all have a duty to foster and embrace equality, diversity and inclusion. Let's get started.
Everyone, welcome back to Sembang Tepi Podcast. Okay, as usually we have our special guest, Izzati, Dini and Eleeda. Okay, today we're gonna talk about challenges and barriers in diversity, equity and inclusions. First of all, we all know that diversity, equity and inclusion, right? This initiative aims to create environments where people from diverse backgrounds are respected and valued and given equal opportunities. Now, without wasting time, sorry for inconvenience. the spelling label Indo. Okay. Don't look like that. I want to laugh. Okay, now without wasting your time, I would like to give Izzati to talk about the current issue of our topic today. Hi Izzati, are you well today?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. So it's good to be back. Okay. So today I will share about unconscious bias. Unconscious bias in the workplace refer to a human tendency to form opinions about others in the office without having enough relevant information. Bias can be based on skin color, gender, age, height, weight, introversion versus introversions, extroversion, marital and parental status. So unconscious bias occurs when an individual is unaware of a prejudice. According to Rose, this bias causes us to make decisions in favor of one group to the detriment of others and naturally creeps into the workplace.
Alright. Do you know how many identify unconscious biases?
Let me guess. Maybe more than 100.
Oh, so many.
But to be more specific, unconscious bias have 150 identified unconscious bias.
Oh.
Yeah. So a few of the known unconscious bias that directly impact the workplace include affinity bias, halo effect, perception bias, confirmation bias, and also group theme.
So, what can HR leaders do to address unconscious bias in the workplace?
It's not possible for the HR to completely get rid of the unconscious bias, but they can make people more aware of it in HR process, interactions with employee, and the work culture. Here are some ways to take the lead on this initiative. Bias is part of the human nature, right? So, but HR leaders can create a training program that asks people to think about their natural tendencies and see if their ideas are based on good thinking or on stereotypes they think they see. The training can get people in practicing active listening and mindfulness and treating each other co-worker as a unique individual. Set a good model and look inside yourself. HR leaders can have an impact on the people who work for them by acting in a way that they want others to behave. Lastly, align bias training with the company code of conduct, ensuring alignment between the company code of conduct and the bias training can assist HR in creating a goal-oriented plan that upholds consistency, transparency, and also integrity.
Okay, since Izzati shares about unconscious bias, I would like to share about stereotypes and prejudice. I'm pretty sure some of you have heard about these matters, right, in the organization?
Yes, I have heard. I have heard that before.
Yeah, I know.
Is it like a gender stereotype?
Yeah, it is one of the problems I would say in the organization. As we all know, stereotypes and prejudice are related concepts that often involve making a judgment or holding bias about people based on certain characteristics, traits, or group affiliations. Actually, there are some specific ways in which stereotypes and prejudice can be problematic in the Malaysian business environment. One of the points Izzati mentioned just now is gender stereotypes, age, ethnic and cultural, and language and accent stereotypes. Okay, first, Gender stereotypes, which are traditional gender roles and stereotypes, still exist in many Malaysian workplaces. These stereotypes can limit opportunities for women in leadership positions and gender pay gap. Next, age-related stereotypes can impact older workers, making it more challenging for them to secure jobs or promotion in favor of younger employees. Besides that, language. Prejudice related to accent or language proficiency can affect individuals who speak English as a second language. This can impact their ability to advance in their careers or contribute effectively to the workplace. The last one is ethnic and cultural stereotypes. Malaysia is a diverse country with a multi-ethnic population. Stereotypes and prejudice related to ethnicity can lead to discrimination in hiring, promotion and workplace interactions, which can hinder diversity and inclusion efforts. Addressing these issues requires a concerted effort by Malaysian business to promote diversity and inclusion. This can involve implementing policies and training programs to raise awareness about stereotypes and prejudice, fostering a culture of respect, and ensuring that hiring, promotion, and compensation decisions are free from bias.
So can I add one more challenges, Alice?
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so I am very sure that you guys must be aware of and heard about harassment and discrimination.
Some
Right?
issues.
Yes,
Issue for
yes.
this.
Okay. So last year, I have read the Star newspaper. Okay, about Elon Musk. You know, right?
Yeah.
Very famous.
Okay.
The founder of Tesla.
Yeah. Okay, so he was sued by a Tesla shareholder. Okay, for creating a toxic workplace culture.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So
Oh my god, so disaster.
Okay. Tesla also has failed to take action on problems of harassment and discrimination at work. So in its factories in Singapore or something, I don't remember. I don't remember. Sorry. Okay, Tesla has been sued for committing a sexual harassment and racial discrimination against its own staff. So the truth about Tesla culture has recently been revealed, even though this toxic workplace has been growing internally for years. Okay, this company had failed to acknowledge and resolve the warning signs involving internal accusation of harassment and discrimination as a violation of ethical responsibility. So according to the lawsuit, this result in Tesla losing talented employees and having to pay for lawsuit offences
For the law act.
and penalty settlement. The company brands has suffered a bad record and financial loss due to its toxic workplace culture. So girls, when you become a HR manager, if an employee reports to you, you have a responsibility to take action on their reports and cannot ignore the employee. Okay, remember? Okay. A different approach is to provide a comfortable environment where your employees feel free to express their opinions, share ideas, and recommend improvement. Lastly, tighten the policy for discrimination and harassment in the workplace. Instruct your employees on their right and obligation related to it, and discipline those who violate it.
Violate.
Okay.
Alright, we are now in the corner of the end of these sessions. What I want to talk about now is about the issue of structural and systematic barriers in Malaysia. A new report says migrant workers in Malaysia will be vulnerable to labour abuse until protection measures are enforced. Hope for Justice convinced the vice stakeholders for anti-trafficking policies discussion and remove offers and online Spanish language diploma in migrant rights. This issue have acquired added practice since Friday when United States authorities lifted a 2-year important ban on Malaysian palm oil product from Sime Darby. You know what is Sime Darby?
Yes.
Okay. Sime Darby plantations, which had previously been suspected of forced labour practices. The ban of one of several withhold release order (WRO) issued by the United States against Malaysian companies over the past 2 years. As activities campaigns group focus attention on the country's widespread labour abuse. It's very crucial for governments, organisations and advocate groups to continue working together to strengthen regulations, monitor supply chain and protect the right of the vulnerable populations. including migrant workers. Addressing this issue required international collaboration with all the world, sectoring enforcement of labor laws and raising awareness to ensure the well-being and dignity of all workers regardless of their origin or status. What can I conclude from our topic just now? HR practices can play a crucial role in addressing the challenges and barriers related to diversity, equity and inclusions, as well as in combating harassment, discrimination and addressing structural and systematic barriers in Malaysia. Here is some conclusions that an action HR practices can take. First, raise awareness and provide training, which is HR leaders can create a training program to raise the awareness about unconscious biases, stereotype that Eleeda just talked just now, prejudice and harassment. This program should encourage more employees to reflect on their basis to promote their active listening and mindfulness. Alright, second, lead by example. HR leaders should set a positive example, should guide a positive example by demonstrating unbiased behavior and treating each employee as unique individual. Lastly, align training with company code of conduct. Yes, the training should be aligned with the company code of the conduct. This ensures consistency, transparency, and integrating in addressing biases with the organizations. By implementing these strategies, HR practices can contribute significantly to fostering a more inclusive, respectful, and equitability work environment in Malaysia. Alright, I'm sad because we have to end this podcast sessions.
You said?
Alright, okay, not too sad because we have more video and more podcast later.
Yeah.
Okay, we will back in a few days or a few weeks. Alright, okay. Thank you for thank you to special guest, and thank you for the viewers. Like to watch and comment below for the topic that you want to know, and we will to share with you guys. Okay, that's all for us.
That's all.
That's all.
That's all.
Alright. Thank you.
See you
guys.
guys.
Bye.